Hello, everyone. I'm Annette Anthony, your Director of Corporate Engagement for Exit Realty Corp International. Today, we're going to go into AI into action. And here's what I've discovered. I've talked to thousands of agents across North America. Most agents don't struggle because they don't have ideas, okay? They struggle because they don't know what to do with them. So today I'm going to show you how you can create just one idea, okay, and take that one idea and turn it into an entire weeks of marketing for your real estate business. And what I'm also going to do is I'm going to walk you through 10 simple prompts that's going to expand each of those ideas into posts or emails or videos and follow-up, because the goal here isn't more content. It's absolutely important to have consistent communication, and we're going to have fun today. So let's do this together. First, the type of prompts that we're going to create. There's 10 of them, and I wanted to categorize them in areas where you're like, yes, I need this. So we're going to do 5 prompts that you can use weekly, and then 3 prompts specifically for your property marketing, and then 2 prompts to stay top of mind, because what I've experienced is agents really struggle with that portion, the follow-up, the difficult conversations. We're going to tackle that today. There's 5 large language models that we're going to be using. We're going to be using ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, and oh, by the way, we're also going to use Perplexity, and I'll show you where that's going to fit in here shortly. So when it comes to weekly prompts, we're going to focus in areas of social media because there's an opportunity, right? A lot of agents are like, what do I post? I have no idea. And if it's too much mental thinking, they're just not going to do it. And I get it. I want to make it super easy for you, and we're going to accomplish that today. We're also going to talk about taking market data and using it as a post that people can actually understand. Neighborhood spotlights, a video tip script, which, listen, if you lean into the video tips script, here's what I know to be true. I've been working on this with many of our exit agents across North America. Real estate agents of ours that have never done video or even dared to do video are now doing video, you guys, with confidence. So really lean into that, especially if it's something that you've been avoiding, right? Next is newsletters. So if you have a newsletter, I know sourcing out information can be difficult. We're going to tackle that today. In addition, with property prompts, we're going to talk about listing descriptions. There's a great writer that you can use with large language models to help you describe your listings, or at least freshen them up to invite people, to make it more inviting. Speaking of inviting, your open house promotions, okay? We want it to be an experience, not just a, hey, I'm having an open house in this area on this day and time. We're going to make it an experience. And then property video scripts. Okay, you're not going to be the same after this session, I guarantee you. And I couldn't remiss, because my background is contact relationship managers, CRM systems, in the many years that I've been in the real estate industry. So I couldn't pass up the opportunity to do reconnection prompts. And I also have a challenge for you. So we'll talk about the reconnection prompts towards the end. And I definitely want you to stay to the very end, because we're going to move very, very quickly through all the different prompts. And you're going to probably think, it's hard to keep up with what she's typing, and I want to follow along with her. Well, I'm going to give you the prompts at the end. So be sure that you stay. Okay. So let's dive in. Let's go into the various different large language model platforms. The first one we're going to dive into, because we're going to talk about a listing description generator. And the best ones for this are going to be ChatGPT or Claude. So let's just tackle, what do I have open? I've got ChatGPT. And first of all, before we start getting all giddy with prompts, one thing that I want to make sure that you do first, so that your large language models stop guessing and more produce what you want it to have accuracy and have really, like, you want your large language model prompts, when you prompt it, to come up with content that resonates with you. You don't want to have to keep dancing back and forth to refine your messaging. And here's how you avoid all that. You go into your large language model platforms and you make sure that you go into the personalization or your settings and you tell it, what do you do? Where do you do it? Who's your audience? What do you specialize in? What areas do you serve? If it knows that in advance, then what it outputs for you is going to be much more accurate. Okay, and you can do this with all of your large language models. So this is an example of ChatGPT. You also want to make sure to toggle on memory in ChatGPT so that it remembers. And you can stop asking it to do it over and over again. It's just going to remember. Also, keep in mind with ChatGPT, just as an example, you have data controls. So you can turn off so that it doesn't improve the model for everyone else based on what you're doing with it. That's always good. The default is always on, so make sure that you turn it off. Also, same in Claude and Perplexity and Gemini, you have profile settings that you want to make sure to go in and refine these. Again, once you do this, do it once. Probably take you about maybe 5 to 10 minutes per large language model. And once you've done that, you don't have to go back and change it, but you can if you wanted to, okay? So let's dive into the first prompt, which is about your listing description generator, okay? So let me just, you're gonna see, I'm gonna type in a prompt and I'm gonna say, write a compelling, let's have some fun with this, write a compelling real estate description, and I've got a property in mind for 2512 East Leonora Street, and this was our old property that we just sold a couple years ago in Mesa, Arizona, and I'll put in 852 213, and then we're going to say focus on lifestyle. Okay, focus on lifestyle, work also flow of the home, and emotional connection. Okay, let's see what it comes up with. So this is, I didn't give it much, right? We just gave it an address. Imagine what it feels like when you come into this home, right? So let's see what it says. So it's going to give us a really nice description. Welcome to a home that feels right the moment you walk in. It talks more about every space is designed for how you actually live, easy mornings, connected evenings. Step inside is a natural flow that guides you from light filled living spaces into a kitchen that keeps everyone within reach. So good, right? We didn't give it too much. So imagine what happens when we add features. Okay, so features like here, I'm going to just copy what I wrote here, and I'm going to paste it because we're going to ask it to do more. We're going to also say, we're going to also ask it to include, 3 beds, 3 bedrooms, 2 bath. We're going to also include the updated kitchen. Okay, we're going to include. We're going to do large backyard with a pool and waterfall. I miss it. Waterfall. But now we have the Kentucky River, so I don't miss it too much here in Kentucky. Okay, waterfall. What else do I want to include? And proximity. Proximity, I'm not going to fix that. Proximity to shopping. So proximity to shopping and dining. And I also, let's make sure, because we want to give it context, okay? We want to say focus on lifestyle. Okay, focus on lifestyle and emotional appeal. Well, let's see what it does now. So we already gave it the address. We're just going to give it a little bit more. So it gave us a previous description, if you will, but now it's got a little bit more. So this 3-bed, 2-bath home is designed in an easy, natural flow, makes daily life feel effortless. So this is good. It says, step outside, the lifestyle truly opens up. Expansive yard is built for both relaxation and entertaining, featuring a sparkling pool with tranquil waterfalls. And continues, located just minutes from shopping and dining. You'll enjoy the convenience of everything you need while coming home to a place that feels like your own personal retreat. Love it, right? So the goal here is the more content you give it, the stronger the output is going to be. Okay, let's do something else. Let's go into Gemini and let's create a social media visibility post because we want to be visible on social regularly. So let's do this. let's prompt it to write. We want it to write 3 engaging social media posts and a real estate agent can share this week. And maybe can share this week based on helping a first-time home buyer navigate today's market. So pretty general, okay? So this is where most agents get stuck, right? It's about what am I gonna post today? And we're solving this literally in seconds. So just by asking it, write 3 engaging social media posts a real estate agent can use based on helping first-time home buyers. Okay, we've got some good context here. So it gives us post number 1. And of course, you can always ask it for call to actions to include those. It will. Post number 1 was about the reality check. Post number 2 is a strategy session. Post number 3 is inspiration confidence. So it gives you something to at least a good track to run on. So let's say we're going to grab the same text that we put in, but we're going to add a little bit more. We're going to also, so we're same idea, but we're going to say include 1, actually we just want to write out the number. So include 1 educational post. We want it to be 1 community focus and 1 real estate insight post about first-time homebuyers. Let's see what it comes up with. All right, so we're giving it more direction, okay? And of course, this is going to remove friction from helping you get started, for sure. It's going to give us our educational post, the hidden power of 2026. And it's also going to give us the community post, building your local dream team. And then number 3, the real estate insight, don't date the rate, marry the home. Now imagine if you asked it for a specific area in your market, maybe a specific county in and around that area. What information would you receive then? Much better, right? So consider those as some options. Let's move on to number 3, which is market insight post, and we're going to use Perplexity. Perplexity is amazing for search and extracting that data that we're looking for. So let's go ahead and let's put in, explain one current real estate market trend in simple language, because isn't it hard for people to just navigate all the information that they see? So one market trend in simple language for homeowners. Let's see what it comes up with. So clients don't need a ton of data. What they need clarity. Okay, so let's see what it gives us. It's giving us one big trend right now is that more homes are slowly coming on market, but inventory is still not back to normal, which is keeping prices from dropping much. And I love the fact that Perplexity cites where the information is coming from. Very, very important. It cites that it reached out to 15 sources, and this is the information that it's giving you. So let's say this is good, but let's dig a little deeper. Okay, so let's ask it. Let's give it some more information. So let's say, okay, we got this, which is good, but let's put in the city for homeowners in, let's say, Lansing, Michigan, just because I'm thinking Lansing, Michigan. But I would encourage you to put in your area that you serve. So in Lansing, Michigan, and then we also, let's challenge it, include what it means for them and what action to take. I would say what action to consider. All right, so we've got a little bit more context. We added the city, the area that you serve, super important, because if you're doing any kind of hyper-local marketing, the general just isn't going to cut it. You want to include the areas that you serve, very important. Because here's the point, clarity builds trust, and trust is where conversations start. So here you've got great information that you can include. Maybe you want to turn this into a blog. You want to turn this into a newsletter. You want to turn it into an email. You can do that. And it's got great information. So trust creates conversations. Now let's talk about using, let's go into Gemini and let's do a neighborhood spotlight. Okay, so let's create a brand new conversation in Gemini. And the reason I'm not just doing ChatGPT or Claude is that I want to expand your experience, right? I want you to dabble into as many large language models to give you an idea of what platform do you feel using yourself more often. And some models are great for certain projects that you're trying to create, others same. So it's important to just kind of expand, and you can do all that I'm sharing with you right now, even on the free level of the large language model programs. Like Perplexity will limit the number of chats, as most of them do, but you can still go seek out information, use that into your marketing, and that creates conversations and definitely keeps you visible on platforms, emails that you're sending to your clients, or newsletters. Okay, so let's go, we're in Gemini, and we want to write a neighborhood spotlight about living in a particular area. So let's do this. Let's write a neighborhood spotlight about living in, I'm going to say where I used to live, right? Mesa, Arizona. And maybe I'll just put in Rancho, because it was a community, right? Rancho Arboleda. In Mesa, Arizona. Let's see what it comes up with. All right. Agents, of course, it's important to provide information. So now that we've asked it to write a neighborhood spotlight about living in this area, think about this. We don't always communicate what makes the area special. So by asking it in Gemini, this can give you great content for your social media. So it's talking about the vibe. It's upscale desert living, talks about the lush landscapes, the quiet streets, outdoor adventure at your doorstep. This is a totally different, it's not just a marketing flyer with the details about the property. You're really giving your consumer, your potential buyer, the flavor of what it's like to live here. So consider, more of a neighborhood spotlight and include that in your marketing options. So if we were to do the same thing, let's challenge it. Okay, every time we do a prompt, let's challenge it to dig a little deeper. So we're going to copy this prompt and I'm going to paste it because I want to ask more. So I'm going to paste it, what we just asked it a moment ago, but we also wanted to, let's have it include other amenities. So include maybe lifestyle. Let's include lifestyle amenities, local, maybe some local favorites, and why people love living here. All right. Now it's going to give us some great information. And think about this. It's not just about the community. It's about why people love to live here. And this could be a compelling way for people to lean into your property, to lean into the areas that you serve. Because now you've given it a bigger picture, more of an experience, not just a home that they could possibly purchase. This is great. Local favorites, where the neighbors go. And this is so true. Outdoor fun, the Usury Mountain Regional Park, great for hiking. the Salt River for tubing on the, riding tubes down the river. It's a lot of fun. Places to go and enjoy some food, the Orange Patch. Oh, that's so good. So this is a great opportunity for you to use to promote your marketing, because people love to live in communities. It's more about the experience throughout the home, not just the home. All right, let's talk about video scripts. All right, we're going to tap into Claude. I love Claude. And I think you will too. The more that I teach about Claude, the more our exit associates have said that they were heavy using ChatGPT, but now they're using more Claude. And you might too. This has just a more human, a more inviting feel on the output that it does. You be the judge. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to have it write a 60-second video script for first-time home buyers. Okay, so let's do that. Could you imagine you writing a script for first-time home buyers? How long would that take you to put together? But let's see what Claude can do for us. So a 60-second, I bet you guys fainted, a 60-second video script for first-time home buyers. Not 60 minutes. So write a 60-second video script for first-time home buyers. Let's see what it does for us. I know that this is the biggest challenge for agents because they hate being behind the camera. But what if you had the script and it sounded like you? So much easier. Now, I use a program called Dubb, dubb.com. I literally have hundreds and hundreds of videos that I've recorded. I'll record videos for pretty much anything. And it's a great way to connect with people. Like, they get the feel of what it's like to work with you when they see a video, especially when you use their name in it, okay? Now, take a look at this 60-second script. So it's built to convert curiosity into conversation. We want that. So 60 seconds, video script, first-time home buyers. The tone is warm, direct, trust-building, non-salesy, okay? The hook. And it even tells you to say it with direct eye contact. If you're waiting until you feel ready to buy your first home, I need to tell you something. Could you imagine if you saw that, if that was your first couple, the first second or two of your video? Definitely a hook, especially if you give it a little bit of a pause, right? And then it says the problem. Most first-time home buyers wait too long because nobody explained how it actually works. That's so true. They think they need a perfect credit score, a massive down payment, or to have it all figured out. They don't. And then it says, here's what the process actually looks like. Step 1, a 20-minute conversation with a lender to find out what you qualify for today. Step 2, connect with an agent who listens before they show you a single house. Step 3, make an offer when the right home shows up. That's it. And it says buying your first home isn't about being fearless. It's about having all the right people in your corner who'll tell you the truth. Walk through every step and make sure you never feel lost in the process, okay? And then it even says slight lean-in conversation. If you've been thinking about even just a little, let's talk. Not a sales call, just a real conversation about where you are and what's possible, and then you can put the link is in the bio. I'll see you there. I just want you to reflect on that script for a second. Does it sound like something you would say? Chances are it's probably like, that's almost exactly what I would say. Could you take it verbatim? Sure. Could you just copy it and you edit it just a little bit to really make it yours, your own? Absolutely. So I would encourage, if you have been apprehensive about doing video, there's no excuse now. If you didn't know what to say, now you do. And it feels inviting and not salesy. I said, we have exit associates who've been so fearful about video. And yes, they go see all the speakers who say, you should do video, just do it. That's not enough. It's being confident about what it is that you're saying and that it resonates with your audience is so important. So now there's no more excuses, right? Because we've seen you can do a prompt on, Claude, and it's going to create a really nice script that's inviting. Okay, let's go back into ChatGPT. Let's do another one. And let's talk about a newsletter builder, because I know newsletters are very important, but who has got the time to create a newsletter? okay? And certainly you don't want to sign up for a newsletter that has nothing to do with your area or your expertise or who you're helping. You want it to be your newsletter. So we're going to create one using ChatGPT. And we're just going to ask it to create a short real estate newsletter. If you anguish to do this, stop. So create a short real estate newsletter section and just let it do the work. See, most agents don't just send, most agents aren't sending newsletters, and not because they don't care, it's because they just don't have the content. So imagine you asked it, create a short real estate newsletter section, and then here it is, right? Ready to use. For your newsletter section. So it's a real estate update. The market is always moving, but one thing stays the same. Informed clients make strong decisions. Whether you're thinking about buying, selling, or simply keeping an eye on home values in your area, staying connected to the market matters. Can you see yourself inserting this little small encouraging newsletter section into your newsletter? Maybe. What I would also, let's kind of dig in a little bit deeper. So I like this, okay, I like this, but let's challenge this a little bit more. Okay, let's also ask it to include market insight, right? Let's include market insight. How about homeowners tips? Homeowner tips and a short personal message. Come on, you guys. No excuses anymore, right? And then also short personal message, and let's include the area. And because I just did a office webinar for one of our offices, let's include the, what was it? They were in the Marathon, super rural Marathon County area in Wisconsin. I just did a webinar for an office, so that county and the surrounding area is quick to remember for me. So all we did was initially create a short real estate newsletter section. Love it, right? Let's get a little bit more context. Let's ask it to create market insight, homeowner tips, a short personal message, and really being specific about including the area in and around Marathon County in Wisconsin. So let's see. Ask yourself, could you see yourself adding this short little newsletter insert into your newsletter? Probably. So it's talking about the Marathon County market snapshot. This is a great little area. It's not rural, but it's very small town, but it's still close to a ton of amenities that people want. The smart homeowner tips, okay? Fresh paint, neutral tones, clean, decluttered spaces, updated lighting for a brighter feel. Just nothing earth-shattering, okay? Just simple tips for homeowners. And then a quick note from me. Spring always brings fresh energy to the market, and it's a great time to reassess your goals. Whether you're planning a move this year or just want to better understand your options, I'm here to help you make confident, informed decisions. Come on. Great, right? So now you can think about creating a newsletter and using that newsletter to stay with your contacts regularly. Let's hop back into Gemini. And I hope you like bouncing from large language model to another, just again to experience a variety. Let's do this for a open house promotion, because I know you do these regularly. So let's enter a prompt. The prompt is going to be write a short post promoting an open house. So you want to create an open house post on social media? Let's ask it. Write a short post promoting an open house. So your dream home awaits. Are you ready to find the one? Join us this weekend for an exclusive look at our newest listing, whether you're looking for a gourmet kitchen, yada, yada. You guys get the idea. So this is good, okay? This is about inviting them to an open house. That's great. But could we make it an experience? And I think that we could. So let's do this. We're going to copy. We're going to challenge these prompts to dig a little deeper. Okay, so we've got this, an open house, but we want to also emphasize emphasize lifestyle. And we want to emphasize lifestyle and inviting the community, right, to attend. Don't you want the neighbors to come in? Of course. So the teaching point is you don't want to just announce it. You want to make it invitational. Invite the neighbors to come and check it out. So come for the house, stay for the lifestyle. So ever wonder what it's actually like to live in the heart of, and then of course you can put in your neighborhood name. And this is more of an invitation. So don't just look at the photos, come feel the energy in the space and see why this community is the place to be. See you there. So this would be a great, if you were doing a promotion around the neighborhood, you could even expand, because chances are they have friends and family in those neighborhoods. They don't live close to them, and maybe they might want to. So this is a great place, a great way to make it an experience rather than just posting you're having an open house. Let's go into Claude. Couple more. We just have a couple more of these prompts to go through. Let's do a video script for a listing, okay? So let's do this, right? Claude is so good when it comes to writing scripts. Write a video script for a listing, okay? So just simple. It's going to give us some information, and this is good. So instead of guessing what to say, right, it's going to give us structure. I love Claude because it's even going to ask you, okay, so we should definitely put in the property address. My bad. So let's go in, and for listing, 2512 East Leonora Street, Mesa, Arizona. All right. So it's going to gather a few details to make it shine. Now what you can also do is you can just simply upload a flyer. So let's say you've got the flyer created, you want to create a video script for it, you could just upload the flyer. So it's pulled up what publicly is available. And here is your listing video script. And I've seen many of our exit agents and agents across the US and Canada, and they struggled. I've seen so many outtakes on videos because they're like, oh, I just want to be able to say, but they get stuck on the words, right? So here are some examples. So whether they just walk into the home, right? What if your next chapter started right here? Bring them into the home, and it's even giving you direction on where to point the camera. So Claude is really, really great. This is for a 60 to 90 second agent-hosted walkthrough. The tone is warm, it's confident, it's story-driven, buyer-focused, and the hook style, right? The scene setting, not stats first, okay? So this is great. Welcome to 2512 East Leonora in Mesa, Arizona. And it gives a 3-bedroom, 3-bath home with over 2,000 square feet of thoughtfully designed living space tucked into Mesa's most established and desirable neighborhoods. Then it talks about the interior walkthrough, the bedrooms, the bathrooms, the outdoor backyard, the location, okay? And it even gives you text overlay that you can include in your video as well. So good. So great way to market this. Now, if you also wanted to challenge this particular prompt, you can also have it showcase the lifestyle, what it feels like to live in this home as well, to add to your video. And again, I can assure you that if you do not do video, you will do more video. It won't just be the video of the home and you doing a voiceover. It's actually going to be you in front of the camera talking about the home, because you've got a script that's going to help you better position to explain the great details of the home. Okay, let's do 2 more big ones. Okay, let's use Claude since we're here. And let's use Claude to write a response to a buyer who wants to wait for prices to drop. Okay, what's the response going to be there? So let's do a prompt, because that could be a tough one, right? So let's write a response to a buyer. I'm sure you've had this conversation of a buyer who wants to wait for prices to drop. Let's see what it does. Okay. Agents lose deals right here. Not because they don't care, it's because they don't know what to say. Now, did you know you could also use the pro version of ChatGPT and using audio so that you can role prep that conversation with your, utilizing ChatGPT. So good. So here's what it's giving you. So the subject is about waiting for prices to drop. Now let's talk numbers. So this gives you basically a little response to that. I totally understand the instinct. Waiting feels like a smart move, but I want to give you the honest picture, not just the comfortable one. So here's what waiting typically costs. So it's going to give you some context. So good. But let's challenge this. Okay, so we said, let's write a response for a buyer who wants to wait. Let's copy this and let's add a little bit more. Let's challenge this to write a calm, and let's make sure, write a calm educational response that explains market timing without sounding salesy or pushy. How about that? So same idea, but we want it to write a calm educational response. Let's see what it does for us. And I would be very curious, and I'd love for you to stay connected. If you hadn't before refreshed or at least personalized your settings, and now you have, and you're entering these prompts, what's the output? I am sure I can almost guarantee it's going to be so much better, so much it resonates more with who you are. Okay, so it's going to give us a little bit more information here. It says that's completely reasonable thought, and honestly, I'd rather you make a confident decision than a rushed one. Here's what I want you to understand about the market timing, because it's not what most people expect. So then it gives us a little bit more of an educational tone throughout this message. There's no urgency, no pressure, just honest guidance. Very, very good. Okay, the last one I'm going to give you, and don't forget, I also have a list of all of these prompts, so you don't have to worry about, making sure to keep up. Okay, let's go back into ChatGPT one last time. All right, so we want to do a follow-up email after a showing. So we'll just have it write a follow-up email for after a showing of a property. This is where there's a lot of opportunity. The fortune is in the follow-up. You guys know this, but sometimes what do you say? So most agents just stop here. So let's go with making sure that you have a quick, whether it could be a text message, so it doesn't have to be an email. It could be a script, something that you might want to say. But writing a follow-up email after showing a property, this is a really good start, okay? But let's take it another step further. Let's copy this because we want to do more. Actually, I don't even have to copy it, but let's include thanking buyers for viewing we want to thank them for coming by, right? And we want to ask them, what stood out. Do you guys do that? What stood out when they toured the home? And maybe even offering to answer questions. All right, so we're creating an email, right, to follow up after showing a property, and it says it was great showing you the address. I'd love to hear your initial thoughts, what stood out to you most, and just as important, is there anything that didn't feel quite right? Your feedback helps me dial in the search and make sure we're focusing on the right opportunities for you. If this home is a possibility, we can walk through comparable sales and pricing strategy, potential offer scenarios, timing, and next steps. And if it's not the one, that's just as valuable. We'll refine the list and send some options. So now we've asked it, let's include thanking the buyers for viewing the property and asking what stood out and offering to answer some questions. So again, just slight, but we want to make sure that we're properly thanking them, that we ask them what stood out about the home. Now, the previous one was pretty close. So again, you always want to make sure that you're following up with your clients, with any potential prospects when you're going through a home, you're showing your potential buyers properties, so important. Now, here's what I know. When you're using these prompts to have more conversations, you can use your exit tools to really drive in the point. So for example, showing them properties, inviting them to an open house, having your beautiful printed marketing flyers about the property available, very important. You also have digital presentations that you can share with your potential buyers on the go. And don't forget, you also have a buyer's guide, seller's guide that you can share with your potential prospects. So as you're engaging with your people using AI and you're being more visible, of course, more conversations are going to happen. But you can then reinforce it by sharing the tools that you have. So your buyer's guide is great. Again, seller's guide. Don't forget the Exit Realty Connect app for the consumer, a great tool that they can use on the go to do more things like connect with you, do searches and save searches, even collaborate with their family members and friends to look at listings with them as well. And don't forget that all of your properties have single property web pages, so your properties will really shine when you share those properties with your clients. And here's what we also know, right? When you're connecting, listen, you're connecting with people, you're having more conversations, and when you do that, it naturally happens. You're going to show people properties, you're going to perhaps generate more listings, and you're going to help more people because they're going to refer you to friends and family members and hopefully have more closings. I know you will. But I want to give you a challenge, and the challenge is for you to reach out to people that you have saved in your phone. So you don't have to go out and generate new leads, meaning go and pay for leads. You don't need to. You have thousands, if not hundreds, I'm sure, in your mobile phone right now. And if you were just to go to the letter A and scroll through, I know there's tons of people that you haven't spoken to in at least 6 months. So what I'm asking you to do is quite simple, just for the next 30 days. Reconnect with 5 people a day. Now, I recently did this in New Jersey. I was at an event, and I encouraged the audience to just simply go to their phones, go through their phone list, and then stop on the first person that, you remember, man, it's been a while since you talked to that person. Send them a text immediately that says, wow, it's been such a long time since we connected last. How are you? How have you been? That's it. Acknowledge that it's been a while and let them know, that you should connect. Like, man, it's been a while since we connected, or wow, I can't believe it's been so long since we connected last. How have you been? That's it. And then the conversation will just naturally happen. They'll reply. Some may even reply with new phone, who this, right? That's happened before. That's okay. Is that a conversation? Yes, it's still a conversation. Connect with people and just let them know you genuinely care. Don't come out full force initially and saying, hey, I'm in real estate. Who do you know? They will avoid you like the plague, right? But if you're connecting genuinely and you're acknowledging that it's been a while, and just ask them, how have they been? They're going to reply. And when they reply, don't forget, when it's natural, let them know what you're doing and that if you could help them in any way, you can. Share with them some of the tools that we shared just a moment ago and keep the conversation going. Now, scan this code if you want the prompts that I shared during the presentation. I've got the PDF flyer that you could just go to, so just scan it. I created it in Canva. And you'll have access to all 10 prompts that you can use, and I would love for you to practice these. These are what's going to help you stay visible. When you stay visible, you won't have to force people to remember. They will just naturally remember that you are in real estate and that you are happy to help them with any questions that they may have. But think about this. They know people who are thinking about buying and selling right now and they're in your phone. So by staying visible, they'll be remembering that you're the person to go to when they have friends and family that you can help. So I hope you take me up on the offer of doing your 30-day challenge, 5 people a day. I know you're capable of doing this. And think about it. After 30 days, that's 150 conversations, 150 people that you connected with. Tell me, try and convince me that your business won't change as a result. It will. I know it. 5 people every day, just connect. And I'm telling you, just by reconnecting, it's going to make a huge difference. Now, in addition, stay visible with these 10 prompts. Use these to stay top of mind with all the people who know, like, and trust you. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Thank you for joining us today. We do this once a month on the 4th Wednesday of every month at noon Eastern Standard Time, and we invite you to join. And actually, take the information that you learned today. Don't just keep it close vested. Share it with someone else in real estate, because if it helps you be successful, I know it's going to help them be successful, and that elevates the entire industry. Have a great rest of your day, everyone. Thank you for joining us. Take care.